How are you, man? How are you?
Great seeing you guys.
Nah, man, it's amazing to have you in studio.
It's
Uh,
amazing to be here. You guys are
Thank you
doing
for
a
pulling
wonderful
up,
job.
man. Thank you for pulling up because look, you weren't even scheduled. You just hit us up like, "Yo, I'll be in town," and we were able to accommodate, and we're happy, man, because it came at a good time. I mean, you took to your social media, and most people follow you. Everybody knows exactly who you are, and you gave out a stern message to Earl Spence. It seems like the frustration set in, the same frustration that a lot of us fight fans are dealing with right now. Like, we want this alleged undisputed fight, and as a welterweight, I'm interpreting your message as you're frustrated that the division is being held up.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the thing, right? Like, how about this? You guys know all the update information when it comes to this fight, and mostly everything that has anything to do with boxing. So give me a refresh of what's going on with the Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford fight as of now.
I mean, there are definitely conflicting reports. I just read an article, I want to say the day or yesterday, that Espinoza was saying that certain websites alluding that ESPN and Coppinger have a fraction of the story, and what they're reporting isn't 100% accurate, meaning the November 19th has always been a date they talked about, but he said in the article that there's other dates as well. And, the fact that people are reporting that November 19th is no longer an option, he says that's not true. But I want to say that the biggest hiccup was about 2 weeks ago. Coppinger was reporting from ESPN that the holdup was Al Haymon needing reassurances that Daniel Kinahan, who had alleged Irish crime mob ties, was not attached in any way with Terrence Crawford. So who knows, Blair? Truth be told, who knows? There's so much going on. It just doesn't make sense, though. It's no disrespect to these two men, but they're not Manny and fucking Floyd. Why is it taking so long to get this contract ironed out properly?
I don't know. It's very frustrating. It's not just frustrating for me, but it's frustrating to the people. I consider myself the people's champion, and I'm gonna call it the way it is, the way people have been thinking, but ain't saying. I think somebody is a bitch.
Now, you said that on your live. You don't think that's pretty strong words? Because I get it. You guys are fighters. You want to fight. But, a lot of these guys are taking the hip-hop route. So it's like
What's the
they
hip
don't
hop
want to they don't want to, get at you on a diss track. They want to shoot you and fight you
catch you in the
outside the
street.
ring, outside the studio. So it's like, Earl might not take that as you trying to build up the fight. Do you care? Because, I don't know that he's ever disrespected you for you to call him a bitch, right?
Nah, absolutely. Well, he does
He
have.
did say he
does
did
have
call you
things to
30-year-old
say.
prospect for
He
sure. I
does
know
have
that rubbed
things
you the
to
wrong
say
way.
consistently. If I fight, like even in my last fight, he has stuff to say. But you know something? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I don't give a damn if he wants to take it to the streets. I don't think people understand where I actually come from and the people that I'm actually connected to. I'm one of the most dangerous people around, but it doesn't matter because what I'm in is in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I will step to anybody right in front of all of their fucking friends, all in front of their whole people. Just like I did with Ennis. I don't care. I am a lion. And this is how lions act.
What do you mean what you did with Ennis? Are you talking about the sparring session or you stepped to him before that we don't know about?
No, I stepped to him right here in Las Vegas in front of his hometown crowd and everybody. It doesn't matter.
Oh, you talking about after the fight?
Yeah, after the fight. After the fight.
Calling him out. Okay.
Calling him out right in front of everybody. It didn't matter. That's how real kings address situations. And it's very frustrating to even be having these conversations talking about this fight that's supposed to be the undisputed championship fight with two fighters that really don't try that much hard to sell a fight at all, and then they think that they deserve more money. They think this and they think that, and then you have a whole lot of things that's like making the fight harder to be made than it really should be. And like they're not out there putting that energy out that they're fighting. Like they're not like putting like, look, they need, in order for them to actually like make the money that they think that they deserve, they got to work harder than that. You know what I mean?
What
the
is
world
it? How
the world
much do you
deserves
think-
a better champion.
How much is it that you think they deserve?
They want Floyd Mayweather money, but yet they never took their fight across the world. They never like how many, like, are you really captivating the audience outside of boxing? Because that's what Floyd did, and that's what Blair Flair is gonna be doing soon. Like you gotta run tours, you gotta talk shit, you gotta be an icon. You know what I'm saying? If you're not an icon, get the fuck out the way, because Blair Flair is here. And that's just how I feel at this moment. Everybody is just talking and waiting and wasting time. And like, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, you got me fighting fucking fights I ain't supposed to be winning and still winning. And like, it's just a lot of nonsense going on. You know what I mean?
So
Nobody wants to fight nobody.
So wait. When you say fights I'm not supposed to be winning, you mean according to who? Yourself or according to the bookmakers?
According to the bookmakers, according to like fans, according to a lot of people.
So you were
In my
supposed to
last
lose
fight,
against Hooker.
that's what a lot of people are saying. Absolutely. I wasn't the betting favorite. And to tell you the truth, I haven't been the betting favorite in a very long time. And the thing is, right, in these 50-50 and 40-50 fights, you don't see none of these young athletes doing this shit. You don't see them bouncing back from adversity. And then the thing is, I really am sick and tired of Alexis Rocha name being tatted right next to mine. You didn't do the work. You know what I'm saying? You fought a bum right after me. And then I fight a even tougher opponent that was way more prepared than even when he fought the other two fights that he lost. He was far more prepared, and he came in underweight.
Why?
On
Why
purpose.
do you feel he was more prepared than his championship unification with Jose Ramirez, hypothetically?
There's two things he told me. I went out. Like, after this fight, I said, what the fuck was that? I told him to his face, I'm like, God damn, what the fuck was that, dude? Like, you were supposed to be out in the second round. You're supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying? He had way more fight than I ever even imagined. So what the fuck was that, man? Where was all that fight in these other fights? He's like, man, I had a horrible camp, and I had a horrible camp with Ramirez. You know what I mean? A horrible camp with Ramirez, and I had a broken hand before the fight with Virgil Ortiz. The fighter that I fought that night was far greater of a man than the fighter that fought them two guys that night. And he had Terrence Crawford in his corner.
And Bomac.
He had Bomac, Terrence Crawford in his corner. You know what I mean?
Did you feel like it was you against the world?
Man, in every fight is me against the world, and I love it. It's like people don't understand that like people see a lot of they see all the negatives. I see opportunity. You're like, oh shit, you ain't supposed to win this fight. A lot of people got you not winning this fight. You just came off a loss. I see opportunity to inspire the world. Guess what? Blair Flair is coming back and better than ever.
No, and honestly, you impressed me, but I was afraid because back-to-back losses could be, devastating for a career. Now, was that on your mind? Did you feel like your promotional company wasn't truly looking at your best interest? Because it's like you said, you're coming off a loss. The dude that beat you gets in a softer fight. You get the former world champion with Terrence Crawford and Bomac in his corner. Did you feel like a setup?
And overweight. He came in overweight on purpose to run me over. Terrence Crawford and everybody in this corner saying that they're going to knock me out before the third round. It's over before the third round. Everything says that he's going to run me the fuck over, and it's not that day.
Now, how long did you know about that fight? Because I feel like it just came out of nowhere, and it was like, boom, they
Super
announced
last
it
minute,
last
yeah.
minute. So tell me you at least got a phone call weeks out and you were in preparation, or was it truly phone rings, yeah, I'll take it, and 2 weeks later, 1 week later, you're fighting this fucking former world champ? Because, yeah, then it would be really questioning what's going on at Golden Boy, my friend.
Well, the thing is, he had about 3 months to prepare for me. He knew,
So you knew as well for
he
3
knew-
months.
He knew before me.
Okay.
Then I knew, and like I still had to go through some trials and errors. The thing is, I had to get a new team. I know for sure at the time that
Wait,
like I wasn't
So
able,
new team, so no more Freddie Roach in the corner.
Yeah, I had to change teams with Freddie Roach, and I still love Freddie Roach in wild card boxing and the fighters and the atmosphere, but it just wasn't right for me to
So who
to push me
prepared
to
you
the
for the
next
Hooker
level.
fight?
I have got a whole new team with me. I have 2 trainers that's helping me to progress me, and that's putting 100% effort in me. And Coach Romo and Cecilio, and Coach Adams. That's 3 guys.
Bones Adams?
No, there's another Adams, and like these 3 guys are putting 100% of their effort into one thing, Blair Flair to world title. And like that's the kind of effort that you
And this
need.
is out in LA?
Yeah, actually it's in Camarillo. You know, it's basically where the Mexicans be at. That's, Oxnard.
Okay.
And that's where I be at right now. I'm in Oxnard. And
So
I
who
have a
did
new
you
team.
use for sparring specifically now that the fight is done? Who prepared you physically in sparring for Maurice Hooker?
Well, I had a couple guys. With me. One that's already there in Camarillo named Richard, and this other guy that's one of my closest friends named Alexis Salazar. Now these guys are top guys, and like Alexis is one of the guys that I taught. I literally gave him all of my tricks almost. You know what I mean? So like when you're dealing with somebody that's young,
What do you mean you gave him all the tricks?
I have a big tricks. I have a lot of
Toolbox.
tricks. Yeah, I have a lot of
Okay.
tricks in my bag.
Okay.
I have a lot of tricks. I have a lot of experience. You're talking about somebody that came from Mexico to New York to Philadelphia to Las Vegas and fought multiple different types of fighters. You know what I mean? That's gone through the Olympics, gone through the Olympic trials, that's gone through a lot of city fights and saw some of the best athletes, that sparred some of the top contenders and world renowned athletes like Shane Mosley and things like that at a young age and built up. So like I have a whole lot of tricks. You know what I mean? I have a whole lot of tricks that tricks the eyes, that tricks the foot movement, I have a lot of tricks. And I needed somebody that will be able to challenge me. And the only way that I can have people that actually challenge me is by giving them what I know. But I have to trust somebody to do that. Because like I'm beating everybody. Like I'm by far the number 1 athlete in anywhere I go. Whether it's Philadelphia, Las Vegas, fucking Mexico, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm by far the best athlete there. So like in order to like grow as an athlete, I need somebody that I can trust, that I can give everything that I have, so they know all my tricks and abilities. So then it's all about who can outsmart who.
So after the big win, obviously, I believe that's your biggest win of your career as former world champion Maurice Hooker. Would you agree?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Thus far, that's not the biggest win.
See, again, I don't know. See, because the thing is, right, every fight, like a lot of fights, I went through like the trials and errors and the tribulations that I've been through in my career is dramatically different compared to anybody else's career. You know what I mean? Now, the fight with Maurice Hooker was under different circumstances. I had enough time to prepare at least before camp. You know what I'm saying? And I got myself together, and then I luckily found a team just in the nick of time. You know what I mean? But before,
So you were training yourself for a period of time.
yes.
For how long?
For about 3 to 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks.
So when it comes to boxing, what were you doing in those 3 to 4 weeks by yourself?
It's
Like,
just,
would you go spar? Like,
no.
But when you say the
Okay.
first 3 to 4 weeks, I mean, when you say 3 to 4 weeks, you're not saying the first 3 to 4 of camp. You're saying you were on your own for 3 to 4, then you found them and had a full 8-week camp. What exactly do you mean?
All right. All right, this is what happened. I didn't have an actual team. So I had to just train.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there'll be times when I'm going to different gyms, or I might go to a wild card gym just to get a workout in. But for the most part, I'm just training myself, basically. It's not nothing like new that I haven't done.
But you don't have
though.
the fight yet. You're just staying ready.
They tell me I had the fight.
Okay,
I
so
already had the fight.
that's what I wanted to know. So you
Before I
went
knew I had the
first 3
fight-
weeks of this camp for that fight without a trainer.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we were trying to get down to the nitty gritty.
So 3 weeks before the fight, but 3 weeks in training camp, I didn't have a trainer, I didn't have a team, and I was bouncing between like Buddy McGirt, Freddie Roach, and just whatever, just kind of just on my own, just training and trying to get my life together.
And how'd you fall with the trio? Why them?
I ran into Coach Adams and Coach Cecilio in this boxing supply store, and I'm over here getting some boxing shoes and some wraps and some gauze and tape and things like that. And I run into them and they're like, oh, and we end up clicking and talking and whatever. And I was just basically I just gave them the rundown. Like I'm very transparent. I'm like, man, honestly, dude, I just need somebody that's gonna be with me for this ride. Like I just need 100% from somebody. I need 100%. I just need a team that can get me to where I'm going. And most times the only way that you can get a team that can get you to where you're going is that you need 100% effort from everybody, because it's going to take that much to get from like this to superstardom. Especially when you have somebody like me. I'm not fighting easy fights. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting kill or be killed fights. And I already got the word that I'm fighting this guy. So like that's what I told them. And then blase, and like they're like, look, man, you need to come down to Camarillo, and I got this new facility, I got a new gym, I got everything going on. I got and we got this trainer Cecilio, the guy that you're talking to. He trained Lomachenko. He trained a lot of great athletes like Sergio Martinez and such. He has a lot of experience. Look, you give us a chance, and I promise you, I never forget these words. He said, I promise you, you're not going to forget it. You're not going to regret it. He said those words to me. And then I continued on with my bullshit. And somewhere in the midst of all of just like popping and bouncing around, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot at least once. I'm gonna at least check it out, check the gym out, cause like this other gym that this other trainer's in, Buddy McGirt, it was just a horrible gym. Like the floor is coming up. It's just ridiculous.
Blue Moon?
Yeah, Blue Moon was getting on my nerves. I was like, man, what the hell is it? What is this? This is not professional. I can't work in this
What?
environment.
The floor coming up at Blue Moon? Get out of here.
It was just a lot. It was a lot. Not enough space, things like that. And then like not really getting the commitment from the trainer. It was just a bunch of nonsense. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna give this a shot at least once. I'm gonna give it a shot. I gave him a call. I said, yo, I'm pulling up today at such and such time, and let's check it out. I'm gonna give you guys a shot. Let's see how we mesh.
And did you immediately hit it off, or did you give them a couple days before you started, assessing or whatnot?
This is what happened. I show up and all three guys, the two guys, and then there was a third named Romo. He that like the other two introduced me to. That's gonna be the lead technical trainer. They all showed up on time, just when I pulled up and everything, ready to work, and we went to work instantly that day, and I never stopped working since. And like it was just like, oh shit, they was really about it. Like they was really about it. They pulled up and everybody just went straight to work. We even started developing a step-by-step plan to get through like training camp. They already started breaking down the opponent and what flaws we might be able to subdue him with and all the other stuff and breaking down a strategy. I had all of that stuff like laid out at my feet, and I'm used to just doing it myself. When I was with Freddie Roach, I'm doing all of that shit basically myself. You know, like I'm like the strategy is on me.
No way.
On me. Everything's on me, you know?
That's crazy.
And then like
that's
sparring.
supposed to be the coach's job, the strategy, coming up with the strategy, game plan, and finding you the sparring. So you telling me you finding your own sparring partners?
Yeah, it was a lot of work. And like again, I still love Freddie Roach and what he does, and what he does was working at the time that he was using it. I mean, you know, at his peak. But like, you know, right now it's just not for me. At the level that I'm at, and with boxing evolving at the level that it's evolving, you know, it's just you have to be at 100%, and you do have to have a game plan before you just walk up in there and just like think that you can spitball. You know, what's going on? I mean, people are smarter now. People are smarter and have way more strategic thinking and game plans going into action when you walk in that ring.
So you fought August 6th. Are they telling you anything? Are you done for the year? Do you get another one this year?
So, but let me rewind back though. So after that whole situation, I had 5 weeks training camp with them. Dramatic change compared to the last fight, which I only had 5 weeks of training, and I didn't have a pre-camp. I wasn't trying to get myself together, and I wasn't training before. The last fight, Alexis Rocha, I only had like 4 to 5 weeks of actual training. 4 weeks, because the last week didn't count. You know, so that was what happened. You know, and it's just...
Why was that the case, though?
Because they never gave me any like real confirmation that I'm fighting until literally the day of the fight. I didn't know what the hell was going on until the day of the fight. And then even when the day of the fight was coming, like we were still in negotiations to see like, shit, man, should I just walk away from this? Or like, I don't even know. I didn't know if I was fighting until the day of the fight.
So the day of the fight, you've already, like, at this point, weigh-in's done. So at this, you're talking about negotiating. So money was the issue.
There was a lot of things that was an issue. One, I don't know if I'm fighting until literally, like they didn't even look. Let's just put it like this: there was no build up. There was no like, Alexis Rocha is gonna fight Blair the Flair before. You know what I mean? Like 4 or 5 weeks before. There was none of that. There was no introduction that like I was even going to be on a card. There was a lot of nonsense going on. And then and even when they like introduced like, okay, Blair the Flair is going to fight Alexis Rocha and this and that, like when they put that out there, I didn't receive like any kind of like contract. I didn't receive a contract until like almost a week of the fight. And then like I didn't get a revised contract until like almost the day of the fight. We wasn't sure if the fight was going to happen until the day of the fight. Like I'm over here promoting the fight before like I even signed a contract to fight. I'm like, they didn't even fix my contract. I should be getting paid more. I'm the main event and I'm saving this show. And now, like before it wasn't a sold out crowd. Now it's a sold out crowd. Like there should be something, some kind of compensation. No, nothing. It's just like, it was just a lot. It was a lot going on. And it just got
So
me to a
ultimately,
point.
what did they do?
Ultimately, the whole idea is just, you know what? Let me just go ahead and save this show. You know what I mean? Because damn it, it's almost been a year since I fought. And I don't have time for this. And everybody else don't have time for this. Everybody, all of these fighters literally came in to fight, you know what I mean, and showed up. And it doesn't matter what kind of like crazy shit that like Virgil Ortiz is doing, you know what I mean, behind closed doors that kind of shut that whole fight down and all that stuff. It's like, you know what, let me just go ahead and get this done. So that's what I did. I just got ahead, got in there and got it done.
So obviously you upset the apple cart. What did they tell you after that? And are you getting out before the end of the year, or are we not seeing you to the new year?
We're trying to get a fight December. We're trying to get something in
So you're
December.
trying to get on that Ryan card.
I don't know if are they fighting in December?
Sure sounds like it.
Cause they say yeah, but like I don't hear no dates. I don't hear no real like promotion.
I mean,
Yeah.
the date that's always been heard was December 17th for Tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's still more than 2 months out. You know, I think if they announce it by the end of this month, they'll be more than okay.
And those guys, they've been, like everything that they've been posting are indications that the fight is getting closer and closer. I mean, this morning or yesterday, rather, they both posted done. Yesterday or the day before, we had Salvador Rodriguez saying that we might not have to wait till next year. Fingers crossed, December. So it does look like it could be taking place. Who knows, man? It's crazy the way boxing works, man. Football, you got a schedule, who your team is playing, and it's so easy to prepare for the boxing fan. Like, I'm a fan of yours. I have no clue when you're fighting. If I didn't know you personally, it has to be frustrating, because it's like, okay, when are you fighting? How do I plan for this? If I got a girl that wants to, she knows you're my favorite fighter, wants to buy tickets and plan a flight to wherever, we don't get any of that. Boxing fans, they got to love you so much. It's like, oh shit, Blair's fighting, and then go and book. You get no preparation. We get no discounts. We paying the top price because, like you said, they telling you last minute, so you telling us last minute. It's frustrating. So you're saying that
It's one of those things, though, right? Like, other sports, they have seasons. We get to have boxing year round. Like, it don't matter what day of the week it is. It don't matter, what time of the year it is. We get to have boxing.
yeah, I mean,
year-round.
we get a season too.
And
It's a year long.
it's-
Y'all get playoffs and all that. We don't. We just get a whole year worth of boxing. It's a whole season. Every year is a season,
Right.
in my opinion.
right, but
And one great fight. We usually have one great fight, one or two great fight where the marquee face of boxing actually fights. Right now it's Canelo Alvarez. I don't know if it's going to be someone else pretty soon. It could be me, it could be someone else. But we also have that. Like before it was Floyd Mayweather.
If Canelo retires today, who would you say is the face of the sport? At least here in America.
I will probably auction myself to be one of the best out there. And the reason why is because it has a lot to do with everything else. You have people in boxing, right, that has a big fan base, but they can't really like move a crowd. You have people that have a really good fan base
Like
and can
who?
fight, but like is not inspirational. Yeah, like okay, with like the two fighters that we just spoke about. That's two literal examples of Ryan Garcia and Javonte Davis. You have Ryan Garcia. He has a big fan base, but he can't move a crowd. Some people are just corny. You know what I'm saying? And then you have like Javonte Davis.
But wait, what do you mean by can't move a crowd? Because they showing up to his fights.
No, he's showing up to his fights. When I say moving a crowd, the thing is, after you get to this level, how do you go farther? How do you go farther? Because like star status, mega star status has to move farther than just like what you can produce on social media.
Yeah, but
You know,
you're
it's-
talking about a sport that at any given time is never going to have more than, at best, a handful of mega stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
like right now, I think the only megastar, the only American megastar, really, you could safely say is Javonte Davis.
Javonte.
Some people say Ryan, you know, big deals that he's doing. Obviously, Gatorade, GMC, and like
Yeah.
all this
Yeah,
shit
that
he's doing.
GMC
I love
thing
that.
was big.
I just, it's like, it don't matter who the hell Tank fight. It don't matter where he fight. He's selling out. Like, they're keeping Ryan west of the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Truth be told, Javonte could go east or west of that motherfucker. He doing 20,000 people. It don't matter.
Well, see, this is the whole thing. I think most of that
And
is
he's on
based around
pay-per-view.
the promotion behind it. Floyd is doing an incredible job with him, or he has been doing an incredible job with him. We're promoting him and building up his persona, doing those series and things like that. He really worked with Javonte Davis, but Javonte Davis is not a personality that people can really connect to. So like when you talk that, he doesn't say anything.
I get
When's the
what
last
he's
time you
saying.
heard him say
I get what
anything?
he's saying.
So-
Like he's not a talkative
He's
person,
not
but
a talk-
somehow they are connecting with him because they're coming out for him.
Like-
It's the
No, they're coming
knockouts
out
they
for him.
selling.
And-
It's the knockouts.
No, and honestly, on top of the knockouts, to me is just the fact that when you talk about the urban community, they have somebody to relate to.
Yeah.
They have somebody like, you know, they've told a story about how he wasn't in the foster care system and how his mother, you know, battled a day. So many people can relate to when you said moving, I'm like, that's moving. Like people having to overcome that and to be able to do what he's doing. And then on top of that, it's just like outside of Floyd, I just think that because of those knockouts, he is able to sell.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
man, his events are star.
It's the knockouts, though. It's definitely the knockouts. Which brings me back to you. Obviously, you know,
But
we
what
were
do- what do
watching
you
that
guys
fight.
think about Javonte Davis and Devin Haney?
How that fight play out?
I like that
Yeah.
fight, man. I want to see those crowds mix.
How you think that fight plays out, and how do you think the crowd?
No, those crowds.
Like
I
think
can't
I
wait.
think that's a pull, and like
What do you mean? A
Devin
pull?
Haney has all the belts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Devin Haney has all the belts, and it's still the looming threat of all of those belts being taken back to where they belong, which is Lomachenko. We have Lomachenko
Why they
still in the
belong
mix.
there?
We talk about why they don't. Okay, look, when Lomachenko had all the belts, nothing.
When did he
Silence.
have all the belts?
He had all the belts. He
He
had
never had all.
He
the
had
belts.
all the belts.
Never had.
when
Never.
How? What belt did he not have?
He did not have
WBC.
the.
Wasn't
No.
Wasn't he?
He did not have the WBC or the
The
IBF
WBC was his belt until
he asked for franchise.
No,
yeah.
they made a franchise belt.
No.
He
They
asked
made
for
a
it.
franchise
No, they
belt. and
requested for
gave
it. They
He requested it.
They requested for it.
They requested.
Yeah,
for it.
they went to Cancun on vacation at the WBC convention. You know, Aegis was there. You know, they was very happy. You know,
before they made this franchise belt.
No, the franchise was already a thing. Canelo was
Yeah,
the first
Canelo
one to get
already
it.
had it.
Canelo was the first one to get it. He became franchise June of that year, Father's Day week actually. Jamal Charlo was fighting Brandon Adams. He was elevated to full champion. So that was maybe
Who had the world
October,
title?
October
Who
of
had
that
the world
year.
title before that franchise belt was made?
It was vacant.
was vacant.
Devin actually had it. No. So it was
No,
vacant, and Campbell and Vasil fought for it. Vacant title. So Luke Campbell and Vasil fought for it. Vasil won it, and then
2
asked
weeks
for
later,
franchise
2 weeks
status.
later, or a week later.
Okay, so
a week.
then that the world title is originally
Okay, he didn't have the
Lomachenko's belt.
IBF. He didn't have the IBF.
yeah,
him and
but
Tio
Tio still had the IBF.
So regardless,
So then he fought Tio for the IBF
And
without
lost.
the WBC being on the line because he took franchise and lost. So they gave franchise status
Okay.
to Tio, and then Tio had all the belts but Devon's. Then he lost to Kambosos.
Cambosis. I feel like the belts is
Bouncing.
Yeah, they're bouncing.
Well, if Devon defends it and keeps it, the bouncing has stopped. But
the curse
if somehow
will end.
if somehow Kambosos beats again, they bounce. They go right back
Well,
to
he
Kambosos.
was able to. He was not actually.
No, he didn't defend. Neither did Tio.
No, Linares was before that fight.
That's what I'm saying. None of them defended. Only one that got to defend, and it wasn't that particular set of belts, is Loma, because he did beat Campbell, but he never had the IBF. When he went to gain it is when he lost them all. But we were talking about power, man. I remember watching that fight.
Well, no, he was asking about the. He was
I
asking.
want to talk about power. You was talking about power earlier, but we were watching your fight live the day that it happened. And I remember saying, like, bro, I didn't know you had that much power. It felt like you were touching him and he just was crumbling. Do you think it was just him, the camp? What? Because Rocha wasn't going down like that. It just felt like you hit him and he was either buckling or going down.
Well, I had a full camp. Like, even though I was going through my own shit, I had a full camp with people with like a strength condition trainer that actually focused on making sure that my body's at its full potential. You know, I had good training, I had good sparring, I had everything that was needed to make sure that I'm at full potential. Now, like, when I'm at full potential, I'm devastating, and you can't think that you're gonna figure out how to beat me. Like, I have a way of beating everybody. I've been trained to beat Terrence Crawford. So, like, Terrence Crawford ain't gonna help you. He ain't got no answers for that overhand. You can't see that shit coming.
It was an awkward overhead.
It's the same shit that I would have hit. I would have hit all of those guys that came from Philadelphia with. It's the same shit. Like, I have a way of being able to get these highly technical fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because I am one of them too. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I came from a lot of different areas. I can fight and I can box. And like, when it's all said and done, I'm creative. I'll make it happen.
You talk about obviously having that power and where you come from, and you know, we saw the video you recently put out calling Earl out. What about a Boots fight?
What about it?
I'm saying, would that interest you? You know, I think more realistic.
I'm kind of sick and tired of like these younger fighters. You know, we're talking about Boots. I got nothing but respect for Boots and his camp and like the people around him. I know all of them. I know everybody. You know what I mean? I'm well aware of like where Boots is right now in his career, in his life. But he's never been really tested. And it's like, I don't really care for it. I really don't care for it until.
But do you even think that fight is actually possible with him being
with PBC?
Well, he's not.
No,
he's with
not.
Showtime.
He's
though.
not. He's not with PBC.
He's with Showtime.
Only with Showtime.
Okay, who knows?
I'm just saying because, I mean, despite his age, you know, he doesn't have that belt. He doesn't have a belt, but I feel like he's probably the most talked about name outside of the champions. And on top of, you know, not just the buzz that he has behind him, but he's on, you know,
he's the mandatory.
He's up there in
the mandatory is Virgil Ortiz
for the WBO.
So like, that's what I'm going for.
Yeah,
I'm
but
going for Virgil.
But he's the mandatory in the WBO. Ennis is the mandatory.
Who did he fight to get there? And like that,
Virgil fought. I mean, Velasquez.
Cav Velasquez is a 140 pounder.
Nah, 45,
nah, he was,
40,
it's
47.
the IBF.
He was a 140 pounder before he got there. Like he literally.
Nah,
is
he
40,
fought Ray Robinson as well.
He's
and
a 40
Crawford.
pounder. He's a 40. Yeah, at 140.
47.
47.
I don't know. He looks like a 140 pounder to me, but I don't know. Like Cav Velasquez, that was a good fight, but
did you just see
that
Cav Velasquez versus Michael Fox?
Yeah, he won. But like Michael Fox is a kid compared to. Come on. That's Kitty Kid. Come on, like everybody swear up and down they good until they get punched in the face, man. Like everybody's really, really good until they actually have some resistance. Let's see what happens when he bounces. Can he bounce back from this adversity? I want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see that adversity. So that's what I see. I just want to see people go through some shit. You know
So
what I mean?
you don't think you could give Boots that adversity that you're speaking of?
Yeah, but then the thing is, am I going to get the credit? Because if I fucking whip Boots' ass in front of everybody, and motherfucker, I'll pull up with Nas X too. I'll fucking fuck their head up. I'll fuck everybody's head up. I don't give a shit.
All right.
I don't give a shit. When you get to my level, you just don't give a fuck. I got fucking painted fucking fingernails. I don't give a shit about nothing. You know what I mean? But if I smash him, what are you going to say? Are you going to say, oh shit, he's really that good?
Or are they going to say
Or
Ennis wasn't really that good?
Yeah,
He's
or are they
no
gonna say
lower.
Ennis wasn't that good. Because Ennis, Virgil, all of them top athletes, Conor Ben, all of them ain't no different than the motherfuckers I just beat already. I'm not talking about Maurice Hooker. I'm talking about people like Ferdinand, people like Villalobos. These are top young athletes that got everything to gain. You know what I'm saying? Undefeated. When's the last time they've been put in an undefeated fight where they fucking like, and then where's the adversity? Cause like when you playing these games,
but Boots has been
who the
in
fuck are these
fights.
guys?
It's just that the fighters are not able to make them go through ever. Like Van Heerden is experienced. He
those
should have been
guys-
able to do it.
Most of those guys are beat before they even step in the goddamn ring. Before they step in the
You think
almost all of them.
Lippin Yates was beat before he got in the ring. Former world champ.
Absolutely.
Well,
Before he get in the ring, he's already
Blair.
beat. What is he gonna do? Come forward?
Blair, beat or not before they get in the ring, those guys have got him up in all the rankings. He ain't no lower than 3 anywhere you check, even the ring.
Absolutely.
So I'm just saying,
I like to see some adversity. It's just where I'm at with it. Like I came up the hard way just to even get to my ranking. You know what I mean? The hard way. And I had 3-year layoff. I want to see some adversity.
so you don't think you gained nothing from that fight right now?
I don't see it. No. I don't think it's gonna sell. You know what I mean? I don't think
How 2 guys from Philly ain't gonna sell?
because one is world marketing and the other one is only Philadelphia marketing.
I don't know, champ. I was at his fight in LA and I seen a fuck ton of pink shirts in the crowd for him.
Yeah, those are Philadelphia people that pulled up, and some of them like
So he got
Traveling fans.
He got traveling
That's
fans to the
traveling
wet
fans.
from coast to coast.
okay. Nah, like it's just not enough. It's just not enough.
Well, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, it's
Like,
not a fight
it's
that
not
could really
enough.
be made, in my
I
opinion.
don't think it's enough.
I was just saying because of the Earl.
No, and I get it. It's just. You could have said that you wanted it. I don't think it could be made. I don't think it could be made.
I don't think it's big enough yet. Honestly.
So
I just don't
Virgil
think it's-
Ortiz is the target.
I think Virgil is a big enough fight.
Okay,
know what I
but that's
mean?
the target. What is the date? Because
I'm
Virgil ain't gonna fight in December.
looking
That's
for
a main
December.
event.
I'm looking for December.
So it ain't. So it's
You know what I
definitely
mean?
not Ryan undercard.
I'm trying to be a main event anywhere I can be. You know what I mean? December, January. I don't give a shit.
They call you to come to Dallas for Virgil. That's cool with
San
it.
Antonio probably.
Nah. They should fight right here in Las Vegas. Why not? You know what I mean? You want to talk about world marketing? Market right the fuck here and have people come here. You know what I mean? You want to be a worldwide entertainer? Come here.
It's a
'Cause
business.
That last fight in Texas, that wasn't a sold out crowd. You know what I mean? And I damn sure wasn't fucking putting on no extra promotion. You know what I mean? Like they got me fucking fighting underneath a goddamn female fights. And like I just don't want to be involved. I just want, and then they got me fighting a tougher fight. Like that's arguably like a bigger fight than the main event, and by far the most attractive fight in the whole card. I don't got time for none of
I
that
ain't
bullshit.
gonna front. You and Hooker are more known than Mickinson.
McKinson, yeah, and then
Look,
like
none of us know how to even pronounce his name. You said McKinnison. Other people said Mickinson. I don't know.
and like McKinson wants to fight me, but it's like, what the fuck do I want to fight you for?
I mean, common opponent with Virgil.
So what? I'm tired of common opponents with Virgil. I fought 2 common opponents with Virgil already and destroyed them. And I fought them at way better circumstances, fair circumstances where I'm supposed to actually lose. You know what I mean? Brad Solomon, I was supposed to lose that damn fight. I had a 1-year layoff. Brad Solomon came in well prepared. He had over 3 months of preparation. I only had 2 months of preparation. He came in shape.
Blair, why do you keep getting these 1-year layoffs?
How many weeks did he come in prepared for Virgil Ortiz? 2 weeks. He only knew of fighting Virgil Ortiz 2 weeks but prior. The promoter would tell you that.
But why they keep giving you year layoffs?
I don't know. Like it's I don't know. It's the promotion. It might be the situation with COVID and like the whole situation where as though like they haven't really put together like a good solid business plan when it came to rebounding from the COVID, like while it was happening. But right now they're putting on fights and they're doing really well. So it's like, why not go full force with Blair Flair leading away? I personally really like the idea of maybe even a fight against Vargas.
Jesse
Vargas. Yeah, that's a great athlete.
I
That's
thought
a great
he retired.
move. He said he wants to fight in December. Shit, I could put together something real quick. You know what I'm saying? I could sell that shit real hard, and it could easily be a main event attraction. And it'd be worldwide. It'd be worldwide right before the whole Ryan Garcia fight, which would be great. You know what I mean? Great to keep boxing alive. I just wanted to keep that shit going. You know what I'm saying?
I got a few questions from the people. Lidge Low in Decatur, Georgia says, good to see you still at it, man. Who is the next fight for you?
I don't even know. I mean, after my last fight, isn't it quite obvious that Virgil Ortiz is a dead man? Isn't it quite obvious that Alexis Rocha is a dead man if he walks in that ring again? It's pretty obvious.
Can you get that rematch? You think they'll give it to you?
Man, I have no clue.
Because in the chat, that's all they saying, man. Tell him fight Rocha, man. Tell him he talking big, but he lost to Rocha. Fight Rocha.
Lost to Rocha.
I mean, you did lose to him.
And then I bounced back with an even better fight against a better opponent, improved. Like with a good trainer, with good training, with a good performance, with good training inside and outside the ring, he has no chance. So there ain't no, oh yeah, I would love to fight Blair Cobbs again. Nah, it's like, oh, you know what? I would like to, first we gotta talk about that. I don't know. Yeah, you better say I don't know.
James Valdez, San Antonio, Texas says, first of all, your last fight was impressive, champ. My question, do the fighters have the means to tell their promoters who they want to face, or are they forced to listen to the handlers?
It's like a kind of like on both ends and things like that. I have no clue how things work. I'm just trying my best to stay relevant and keep boxing alive. You know what I mean? Even if it's by my own blood, I'm gonna survive this shit, and I'm gonna thrive and be better than ever before. And like before the fight, we were talking about Virgil Ortiz. After the fight, I don't know who the fuck I'm fighting. That fight with Maurice Hooker, under the best circumstance that Maurice Hooker could possibly ever be in, just like the Brad Solomon fight, under the best circumstances he could possibly ever be in. And then Virgil having a hard go with McKinson that does not punch like Blair Flair, that's not going to run some punches right through his guard because your hands is up because you can't see those punches. You're damn sure not going to see somebody that moves faster on his feet, and you're not going to hit nothing that's moving faster. You know what I mean? Consistently. That's going to keep his wits about him throughout the whole fight. If it's 10 rounds, it's a 10-round ass whooping. If it's 12, it's a 12-round ass whooping, and you're definitely going to get knocked down. You're definitely going to get hurt. And let's see what the fuck happens when you actually get punched in your face, because things change when you actually get hurt. You know what I mean? When you actually get hurt, we get to see who's the man and who's the coward. And like, you saw what I went through. You saw that I got no coward in me. They had to fucking stop that fight with my hands up and still punching. They had to stop that fight while I'm still in the ring. I'm still punching, and I'm still on my goddamn feet.
Going out on that shield, Deontay Wilder style.
You know what I'm saying? Even worse than Deontay Wilder, because I'm still on my fucking feet when I'm ready. You know what I mean? Because you never know. That shit, they let that shit go, and later on, oh shit, you done got tired on me? Oh, your ass is dead now. Blair Flair comes back. And that's what happens.
Last one here from Canna in Nebraska. He says, I see you have thoughts on Rocha. Are you willing to take the rematch next? Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely. I'll definitely take that rematch. But I hear that he's fighting another bum like next month or something like that. So, they're keeping him active. They're keeping him well protected and keeping him well away from danger. Fighting Blair Flair on a very, very late notice. And keeping his resume nice and safe while Blair Flair goes out here and does all the hard work for him to put him in the rankings. Get his fucking name off my goddamn name. I'm the one working. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep fighting these weak-ass fights, his shit should be over there like at 12, 13, 14, like ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he should not be nowhere near my fucking ranking.
He's at number 7 in the WBO.
And I don't understand why. Just because he beat me and then he fight a bunch of bums that's fucking got like 1-2 week notice. I don't got time for that.
Young Tigre in San Antonio says, has Ric Flair co-signed you? He is the GOAT, and we have to see greatness from you.
Absolutely. He definitely co-signed me, and we definitely had conversations. And you're definitely seeing greatness in me and through me every fight out. You're seeing the trials and tribulations of life through my career. Big ass layoff. How do you survive a fucking big ass layoff? You had to survive fucking poverty. Damn, you survive everything. Homelessness. Like, you survived Philadelphia with no family, no friends, nothing. You survived Mexico. Oh shit. Under all the circumstances. Oh shit, you ain't even supposed to win this goddamn fight. You know what I mean? There is nobody in boxing and possibly in the world of sports itself that is more attractive. There's no fucking person in the world that's that fucking inspirational, period. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. If you can make water into wine, let me know, because that's the only way you're gonna fucking put out a Blair Flair show.
Bougie in Broward in Florida says, so you saying you have the cheat code to beat Boots? Y'all worked before. If so, how did it go? And thanks for pulling up to the show. 100.
Everything is about circumstances. Everything is about circumstances. Boots is on a rise. I'm on a fucking 3-year layoff. Not even sure if I even want to fucking fight anymore. Because, like,
so you're saying at the time of sparring him, you were on a 3-year layoff?
Yes. That's during a 3-year layoff. And on top of that, I am by far the most dangerous fighter in boxing in Philadelphia. So when it came to fucking Philly, I got banned from fucking sparring anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody. The only reason that I would end up sparring is under 2 circumstances. 2 circumstances. And the 2 circumstances is this. I'm off my shit to a point where people know that I'm not even showing up to the gym enough. Oh yeah, let's get you in there. Let's spar. At least we have a chance to fucking survive. Or 2, somebody from outside of the gym and outside of Philadelphia comes in Philadelphia and whooping ass and tearing shit down, and guess who the fuck they call? Blair Flair to go ahead and fucking finish them. You know what I mean? That's it. That's the only 2 circumstances that I will ever actually be able to spar, even spar.
Blair, so you mean to tell me that had you not had that 3-year layoff, that Jerron Boots would not have been able to survive in sparring with you?
He wouldn't be able to survive in sparring, and we wouldn't even be talking about this goddamn fight. You know why? Because Boots probably wouldn't even fucking be here, period. he probably wouldn't even be here. Do you know how bad it is when you get shook so bad that it takes your heart out? That's how bad I was able to hurt people. You know what I mean? And like, God forbid if you was in my weight class. You know what I mean? God forbid if somebody just said anything good about you. Because like, I'm young too. I was a savage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't give a fuck. Now at least I'm older. Like, I'm like, let's just save it for the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you showed up with a shirt today.
Yeah, yeah. I showed up to a shirt. I'm always dressed to impress. Shout out to One Monarchy for always keeping your boy lit.
So let me ask you, because I was just in Philly, and maybe my eyes deceives me, but you don't think Boots could have improved? And because like what you describing and what I just seen in Philly, like I was seeing him tear up the middleweights and the super middleweights in sparring. You know,
that was me. Before I left. But the thing is, it was a major difference between what I was doing and what he's doing. He's very technical. He knows every trick that Philly has to offer. He doesn't know how to beat him. He doesn't know how to beat a Philadelphia fighter outside of like using just better tricks. But the thing is, right? He knows all the tricks. He's great at technique. You know what I'm saying? And I would presume that maybe he's very consistent and he has gotten a little bit better. But you really can't get that much better than where you're at until you actually stepped out of your comfort zone. I'm sorry, but like that's still the same kid that we sparred once before. You know what I mean? That I fought that I didn't have a fight and God knows when. Didn't have sparring until God knows when, and just like came off of the streets. You know what I'm saying? And that was like his biggest accomplishment in Philadelphia. Remember this shit. If he's fucking remembering this dumbass fucking sparring and his father, oh my God, it was such, like, yeah, we won this. Remember how bad of a motherfucker you gotta be if that was a big fucking accomplishment, having one day of sparring. One fucking positive day of sparring. You know how bad of a motherfucker I was? I was that fucking bad. They have to bring that up right quick. Hurry up, bring that up because that's all we got. You know what I mean?
I don't know that it's bringing it up, Blair. If you consistently saying you want to fight him and that you could beat him, and then he just recalls to the sparring, like, bro, when we work, I put hands on him.
Before that, it's like, yeah, they're gonna bring that up. But you gotta remember, they remember that fucking weak ass sparring like it's tomorrow, like it was yesterday. The thing is, there's a reason behind that. It's not like I was a fucking no-name dude that they came to my gym to spar. They came to my gym to spar because I am the biggest and most dangerous person in Philadelphia. And they've been practicing and training to fucking to come at that gym at that specific time to challenge themselves at their full potential. While I'm not nowhere near my full potential, but the credit of even surviving a non-full aggressive Blair to Flair is more than what most people can even accomplish. I'm able to jump across that goddamn ring and crack a motherfucker with some shit that they can't even see coming. I was that fucking fast. You know what I mean? Now I'm more elusive on different aspects and doing different things. I'm still creative to a point where you can't even trust being close to me sometimes. You know what I mean? But still, that being said, you have to realize that. So when I fucking stood up and pulled up on his ass, like, good fight. First of all, the fact that he even saw me shook him.
Whoa. What you mean, bro?
You ain't see the look on his face?
But if he would have been shook, he would have walked away.
Nah, he was shook. He can't walk away.
Being shook is walking.
Away.
I see you walking on the same side of the street as me, and I
go on the other side.
I was there. He didn't go anywhere. Y'all had y'all words back and forth.
Look, this is where it is. He cannot escape me.
But y'all on the wrong side of the street.
There. Nah, I'm right there. I'm in his face. Like this.
Oh yeah.
But a fight.
And I'm standing right there.
Yeah, I was
so
there.
like he was trying to like avoid me until we have to lock eyes. And now we lock eyes. Shit.
He turned his head.
He shook. He's frozen. Frozen for a minute. What's up, man? Yeah, good fight.
Oh, you pulled him in.
Yes, of course.
Get out of here.
Of course.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull up.
Grab his hand, pull him in right there. I got you.
You ain't going nowhere now.
You ain't going nowhere. Hard grip, too. Like, look. Now, you know what's going to happen now, right? Come on, man. Don't do this, man.
What? You gonna say Boots said don't do this?
Yeah. Come on. You know what's going to happen, right? Because you do know that, right?
So
Like,
I just put up the video. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Blair. Your story is very contradicting.
Hold
very
up.
contradicting.
Hold up. What are you seeing?
I'm saying
I want to see it.
I saw Boots stare in your eyes and he reached his hand out to shake your hand. That's what I just seen in the video. I just said this to you.
Look at it.
Let
Look
me
at
see.
it again.
Yeah, okay. Then he turned, okay. Then he turned, okay.
Then he turned his head.
Who pulled him in? Did Blair bring him back?
Blair ain't let go of that hand, that's for sure.
Oh, so Blair ain't lying. He said, "Oh, where you going?"
You got it?
I mean, Blair staring you down. I'm trying to wait what's going on.
Oh, no, I was waiting for you to
I'll
pull
love
it up.
to see this shit.
All right, we good. Let me get a screen share, fellas.
Because I'm going to be honest, I was there. I don't remember it being this long. This shit is 7 minutes.
It was something. You know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere. And can't nobody scare me, man. You talking about somebody that's fucking been connected to El Chapo? You can't fuck with me right now.
I ain't gonna lie,
One call and everybody's kidnapped.
I ain't gonna lie, you was by yourself.
I
mean, they don't want that manifest to be light, so I'm gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? It was a great time. You know what I mean? And I take nothing away from Boots. Boots is doing his thing. You know what I mean? But like when it's my time, it's my time.
All right, this is it. Let me get a screen share. Hey yo, nah, you stunting, Danny. Danny got favorites. I see you, Blair.
No, I
see you.
I said he
Bruh,
turned around after.
No. It's obvious. It's obvious that Blair's staring him down and Ennis is trying not to look at him. Then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to look at him. And then he's smiling it off. Come on, man. Look at this shit right there. Shout out to Fight Hype. Look at Ennis. I mean, look at Boots staring him down. Now look, he locked. Who's smiling? Who not? Look, tapped him in the chest. Look, pulled him to you.
Yeah,
he pulled him like
I
he told
stopped
you.
it before,
Don't go
yeah.
nowhere.
Who is he looking at? Who's he looking at? It ain't fucking me.
No, I had stopped it right before that, and that's why when I let it keep
Yo,
playing,
you
I
still
said,
got his hand too. You ain't going. He said you ain't going nowhere. He still got one hand. That's insane. Okay, he got both hands now. What he's saying? His levels or some shit like that, right?
He needs to look at everybody else to justify who he is. He needs. Hey, y'all, help me. Hey, y'all, help me.
We good, guys. Well, that was the last
man,
question,
let's get
man.
that fight, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not gonna happen though. You different sides of the street.
No, I'm just saying.
I mean, I think anything's possible.
Despite
you know what I mean?
you saying
Not till you
that
get
you
off
don't
of
see
the
the
zone.
benefit, despite you saying that you don't see the benefit, he's still top 3 in every sanctioning body, Ring Magazine. You beat him, like you saying, will they give you credit?
You think
You
so?
will 1,000% move up the rankings.
Word.
Well, I get the credit.
You know you'll get the credit.
So
I don't know.
if you
Yeah,
beat
well,
Boots,
He the new boogeyman.
Like,
Don't act like people ain't avoiding them.
know.
Everybody's saying something
avoiding
except
something.
let's fight.
Everybody's avoiding
They
everybody
like,
though.
oh, Boots ain't ready. Boots don't
he
got a
ain't
belt.
calling out Virgil.
Who Boots
He ain't
for?
calling out any young guys.
I mean, he ain't calling out nobody that ain't on the
none of
same
these
side of the
ain't
street.
None of these young athletes calling each other out. You don't have anybody calling each other out at all.
I mean, he called out Crawford, Earl, Thurman.
Everybody can call out Crawford, Thurman, and Earl, and Keith, and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? We can call out those guys until you're blue in the face. You know what I mean? They're on their way out, regardless. This is the new generation. So the whole thing is they're on their way out. What young athlete
Blair,
is calling out another young athlete?
But I'm
'Cause
not
I fought
understanding
other young
you.
athletes that had nothing but like everything to
But
gain.
age
But
don't matter. It's who the top guy.
No. But I don't
Like
understand you because
the top guys, the top up and comers. Why is up and coming top fighters not even thinking about fighting each other? They just trying to get to that world title before the other person.
You
does.
yourself saying they protecting Rocha and they protecting Virgil. So if they protecting Virgil,
Why protect them?
I mean,
Like,
the
if they
business
are-
of boxing.
if they
they
are-
Mexican.
if
He's
they are-
Mexican and they could sell in San Antonio. So they trying to put him in the right fights, make him more of a star. You know why? He's
wanna-
Mexican and he could punch.
So what?
Marketing, Blair.
What's more marketing than just like marketing itself? Like, okay, you have Virgil Ortiz, right? But then you have Blair the Flair. The whole thing is you just got to market though. If you do your job, Blair the Flair is 9 times out of 10 a world icon. Now, you have Virgil Ortiz. Yes, he sells to the Mexican audience. Blair the Flair do too. You have Virgil Ortiz. He has a lot of power. He knocks out fighters. Blair the Flair do too. It's just why not make that fight happen? And if that fight don't happen, then
Because one guy got a bigger name than the other.
how?
You don't.
How?
No, I'm
that
saying.
last fight was
No.
not a sold out
I'm
crowd.
not saying between y'all two. I'm saying instead of fighting Virgil, Boots is a way bigger name. And I feel like a way more buzzing name. Now, obviously, you and Virgil on the same side of the street. And big picture, they both really in the same position as far as, one's a mandatory and one sanctioning body, the other one's a mandatory and the other sanctioning body. For me, I think it's kind of like an Earl thing, like take care of your side of the street. Why wouldn't you fight Virgil before going to fight, one of those other guys? I feel like if anything, it just gives you more
Leverage.
more leverage, more leverage and bargaining in negotiations. But it's
I think that me personally, I'm sick of it, and I know the fans are getting tired of it. The fans are getting tired of so much.
yeah,
So
but
much strategic thinking when it comes to business and not actually fighting
Yeah, but
not boxing. So the thing is we get robbed of who could really be the best because of circumstances. A lot of really good fighters lose only because of their circumstances. A lot of really good fighters, they might only win because of circumstances. There's circumstantial losses and circumstantial gains out of just trying to finesse and move things along. And it's just I would love to see these guys get into positions where as though okay, it's a 50-50 fight. You know what I mean? You could lose the fight, and let's see you test it before you're actually in the world title. You know what I mean? It's guys will be not tested and be making these circumstantial wins and not showing the world who the hell they really are until the world title. And sometimes by the time they get to the world title, they know way more about their fucking champion, and the champion's already on his way out than the champion knows of him. Because there's really a lot less footage, and there's a lot less tests that person went through, because they're all circumstantial wins and circumstantial gains.
Yeah, but
I just want to see more out of boxing.
the problem is you're saying that the fans are getting upset, but it's
Fans
only
is tired of it.
Yeah, but it's only the diehards, right? So at the end of the day, it's not the people that turn you into a superstar. So that's why Ryan is able to fight to go and still do 10, 12,000 tickets and fight
Word.
fucking Fortuna, who Fortuna's really a featherweight, but asked for 40 for the fight to be at 140, right? So he's able to do that and still do good ticket sales and still.
Is he a 140 pounder or is he a 35 pounder? Why is everybody moving out of 35?
Well, I'm saying he started at 26. The fight was supposed to be at 35, and you know the reports are that it was Fortuna, his team, that requested the bump to 140.
We got a Mexican super chat who
But
says,
nonetheless, it's like those aren't the people that are getting tired of it that you're speaking of. Like the people that go see Ryan and the people that go see Tank and the people that go see Tyson Fury, those aren't the people that, I mean, you can't really say shit about Tyson, but those aren't the people
Tyson's great.
Right, but those aren't the people that are getting tired of it. Like those guys are stars and they're able to bring in the casual. And those are the people that do turn you to the superstars. The diehards are going to be the diehards, right? The diehards are people like me that no matter how bad your team is or no matter how bad the sport is doing you over, year after year, you still support him because you just love it that much. And it just means that much to your life. You know what I'm saying?
The way you're talking about this, right, is this. The diehards are sick and tired of it. But the thing is, right, the diehards is the actual blood that pumps the heart of boxing. The diehards are the fans that are keeping boxing alive. When you have fucking YouTubers, when you got like MMA, you got this, you got a whole array of other things that they could be fucking watching, but now they're watching boxing. You know what I mean? The diehards is boxing. You know what I mean? Those fans are what makes boxing great. You know what I mean? And converting some of these guys that's never known anything about boxing into boxing and all that stuff, they're the people that keeps boxing alive. And when you hurting boxing, you're hurting those fans. You're hurting the actual heart that keeps boxing alive. So when I'm saying like people are tired, yeah, it might be only the diehard fans, but it's the diehard fans that keep boxing alive.
that's for sure. Listen, we got
I guess in a sense, right? But you mentioned like the YouTubers.
They have their niche, and like I'm happy that they're around for the time that they're being, because boxing don't have a mega star just yet. Like yet, I would say. But then I would even say like maybe Tyson Fury is a mega star, I think.
I mean, Canelo is, Anthony
Canelo
Joshua
is too, I think. But like,
you don't put Javonte there?
They haven't quite captured the fans like Floyd Mayweather. And we're all looking and waiting for another Floyd type of fighter. Like that took the world by storm. Like Manny Pacquiao. Like Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime.
You don't think Canelo, in his sense, has done that?
I think Canelo has done it in many aspects, but
I just think it's hard to compare to Floyd. Like Floyd was just, you know, he has all these records as far as gate sales and pay-per-views and things like that.
How did he do that? Did he do that because of because of politics, or did he did it because he was like not just a boxer but an entertainer?
Yeah, an entertainer. But the beauty about it was with him is that he understood like marketing in this country, right? He understood that unlike the other great countries in the sport, like Mexico and the UK and just so many countries that have contributed to the sport, this is the only country where you're best off being hated on instead of loved on, right? Like Tito Trinidad loved, adored, and he was a legend and is a legend in Puerto Rico. Same could be said about Chavez. Same could be said about so many British fighters. But that's not the case in this country, and he understood that, and he played off of that, right?
I think he really just didn't have a chance. Like, he is loved. Like, he is loved and adored by tons of fans. But the thing is, like, in this country, we are living in a very, very, very racist country. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though, like, you know what sells? Being hated more than fucking being loved at this time. And probably all the time. People don't understand that, like, Muhammad Ali was hated. He was the most hated athlete in boxing, period. By far. But he not only was hated, he even fought against the odds. He he only was loved in the back end of his career after being beaten and bruised by just life itself and going through the trials and tribulations of life. But that's what like makes boxing great. And then when you leave, in the legacy that he left made it possible for other fighters to walk in his shoes. I mean, it leaded and made way for people like Sugar Ray Leonard to do what he did. You know what I mean? And bouncing back from that adversity with Roberto Duran. But the legacy that Floyd Mayweather is leaving behind is not one that like can really like push boxing farther along. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I see. Now, I still love Floyd to death. Hell, I might even fucking sign with Floyd. Who knows? You know what I mean? That might be a possibility. But the thing is, like, the legacy that he left behind was the idea of, I want to be perfect. So let me manipulate things and make the conditions 100% best for me and not so best for the opponent. Which means we don't really get those 50-50 fights. We don't get those people that just dare to be great. You know what I mean? And like that makes it very, very hard for boxing to survive. And then you have people like me that's trying to push the envelope for an opposite way of thinking to keep boxing alive. You know, and yeah, we got Javonte Davis. I mean, but like years ago, he could have fought this fight with Ryan Garcia and we can say that Ryan Garcia is a problem. You know what I mean? Years ago, they could have fought. You know what I mean? Years ago, one of them could have fought Lomachenko. You know what I mean? That was nothing but crickets when Lomachenko was on top.
Not one of them. The only one that could have fought him was Tank. Ryan, you know what I mean? He's barely just won an interim title, but I got a couple super chats.
No, he was part of that four-way BC tournament, right?
Who?
That the WBC had proposed to fight Lomachenko. It was supposed to be Devin, T.O., Ryan, and I forget who the fourth was, but
and nobody wanted to talk about fighting Lomachenko. I don't like that.
It's tough though, Blair, because like it's a business, right? And people talk about the 50-50 fights, and a lot of our callers.
Is it a business? Because in the end, like if we're not out there entertaining these motherfucking fans, if we're not out there doing our best to make sure that we produce a mega star, if mega star quality is not at the top of our to-do list, we are losing. And more, we are losing to people of the likes of YouTubers. More and more, we are losing to the people of the likes of MMA fighters. More and more, we are losing to the idea, you know what? I think I'm just going to stay tuned to football all this season instead of focusing on boxing. You know what I mean? And we have a whole lot of different avenues. We have baseball. We have a lot of different sports to take your entertainment. And we have Netflix. You know what? Fuck this damn fight. I'm about to put on Netflix. The whole thing is we need to keep pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? We need to keep pushing the envelope on these fights being made. And like sometimes when you make things so much business oriented, it can get in the way of what boxing really was, and really like the idea of what boxing truly was. It was about the world's best and like seeing who would rise to greatness.
Yeah, but it's like you gotta pick your poison, because a lot of people say, they call in, they'll say the UFC is great because we as fans get to see the fights that we want to see, right? And right. That's why the sport is so great and amazing. But now you as a fighter, go talk to a fighter, see if he getting the purse he want. You get what I'm saying? Like,
in MMA world,
of course. So it's like,
well, that's because that's a conglomerate that's all controlled by one entity. Okay, they have a couple others that's like doing their own thing. But the real
they're
one
the
entity
majority.
is UFC.
Absolutely.
And
So now it's like,
yeah.
if we go back to the old days when you used to have 3 Hall of Famers on one Don King card, that's great for the fans. That's amazing. We win.
Mm-hmm.
But do the fighters? How are they doing financially these days? So I don't know that I want to go back to the old days of boxing. Now I get what you're
because of
saying.
the fighters are being swindled.
Absolutely, right? Because I get what you're saying. I get that.
That's a good point.
What the sport was based on, but it's like you gotta have some sort of basis. Like at the end of the day, you still gotta feed your family, right? So what is gonna happen to you, because the sport stops, right? You're a man, you go have kids. I don't know if you have any already, but you start a family, you gotta care for that family. And I don't mean just financially, I mean physically. So there's a difference when those guys was fighting 6, 8, 10 times a year, but now we look at them and they not the same, and they only in their 50s and really you talk to them, they don't have much. So it's like, I don't know that I want to go back to the old ways, but I do believe that there has to be a good balance. I do believe that we have to see some of those fights, but the fighters need to be, treated fairly as well.
I think that's a 100% plausible case being said. And the thing is, right? You know what fixes that? Promotion. Promotion. Not just with fighters building their brand, like Blair Flair, the most exciting man in boxing. Does the Ric Flair woo that comes out to a specific type
You're the exception,
of
though,
genre.
Blair.
The thing is, all of these fighters need to have their own shit together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? but that might take some advice from outside, some outside advice on, like, you know what I mean, probably possibly coming up with a game plan and promoting. Look, the idea was, once upon a time, that was the promoter's job, though. Now the fighters are promoting themselves, and the promoters are just barely. When I say just barely promoting the fight. Just the fight, that alone. We need to see more of what's going on between these fighters and their camp, like everything.
I agree.
There needs to be more access between the fans and the fighters, and getting the fighters' names out there. So
agree.
when they fight these big fights that they deserve to be fighting, and the fans deserve to see, they get paid the amount of money that they deserve, and that's without like hurting the promoters' pockets and everybody. If everybody is not so goddamn like stingy to keep money for themselves, I feel like with the right promotion and coordination to top companies like DAZN, like ESPN, like Showtime, we can make some amazing stuff happen, even if they all combine together.
Yeah, so Warriors Only says that I have a Boots poster in my locker.
Oh,
He says,
good.
saludos to Blair. He has fans out here in Mexico. Boots versus Blair, let's make it happen. Or Rolly versus Blair at 147. I like that some years down the line.
I do want Rolly.
I'll meet
I
him
ain't
at
gonna front. I do want Rolly
I
and
think-
you.
I'll meet
I
him at
think that-
45.
I think
because I can make 45. Most
You
of
and
my
Rolly
fights, I
and
make
you
45.
and Thurman, that might be the biggest, fights for you, because
Me and Thurman would be great.
and Rolly though, because
I love Rolly to death.
Both
Like
of
we're
y'all could
actually
talk.
friends. Like, and
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, and I think that fight could possibly be made. And the whole thing is, that's what pushes the envelope for boxing. We need big fights. We need big promotable characters, and make something special happen. You know what I mean? I was trying to get the whole idea with Adrian Broner and getting him back out of retirement and all that stuff. Hell, I don't have a lot of experience. He has a chance to beat me. I'm probably still gonna be an underdog in that fight. You know what I mean? Adrian Broner coming back and being better than ever. And he's off drugs, he's off the drinking, he's done got himself together. We can promote that fight and make it happen. You know, we can make it happen right there with DAZN. There's a lot of good things that I think that can happen. You know what I mean? And absolutely, if the fans want it and want to make it happen, we can make it happen. You know what I mean? I have a great team behind me, and I'm comfortable now to a point where I can build as an athlete and build as an entertainer and everything, and not worry so much about like just training myself. you don't even understand the amount of like
Stress.
miracles I had to work. So like, you know, I like let's see these fights happen. What else do you guys have to say? What else
Definitely
they
want to
saying?
see those fights happen.
Nah, man, that's it. We do have to wrap as our time has come to an end here. But Blair, please give out your social media.
Absolutely. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Blair the Flair. And for more exciting content, official BlairTheFlair.com. You can check me out on YouTube at Blair the Flair. There's lots of content being pushed on my Instagram page. If you need more content and if you want to see what Blair the Flair is getting into, check it out at Blair the Flair. Blair the Flair is the most exciting man in boxing and the next big thing in boxing. Let's get it and let's make it happen at the Boxing Cast, the Boxing View. The Boxing Voice. I'm tripping right now. It's been such a long day.
Not. Just fuck up the day 3 times.
3 times. I'm fucking tired as hell right now. Check it out at the Boxing Voice Podcast Kings. Like, there's just nothing better than these guys doing their thing right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm very appreciative to be here. And like, yeah, I'm a little bit tired. It's time to get out of here.
Wait,
Yes, indeed.
they loved you from Mexico, but they hate you in America. We got Baltimore saying, best dad ever says, when you was tested, you lost. I'm done.
Huh?
So you was telling us like, you know, some of these young guys need to be tested. They need to suffer adversity.
That's a lie. That's somebody that doesn't know what the fuck I'm doing. Have you checked my record? Did you check how much of an underdog I was against Caribbean? Did you check how much of an underdog I was against Villalobos? Did you check how much I was an underdog even against somebody as the likes of Robert Redmond? You know what I mean? There's a lot of good fights in the midst of like just the build up to Blair the Flair's marketing campaign of World's Greatest. You know what I mean? Even the my last fight, I fought Rocha. Yes, I fought Rocha. Late notice. Yeah, I didn't get the win. But what did I do right after Rocha? I fought an even better fighter. You know what I mean? Who the hell is doing that? Let me know in the comment section. Who the hell has taken a loss and then fought a better fighter than the last motherfucker he fought? Because most of these guys want these easy fights, especially after a loss, to get their goddamn their stuff together. I had to get my shit together in the midst of a 5-week training camp. Like, called miracles.
Barrios did that. Barrios lost the Tank, fought Thurman, but he didn't win like you.
But he didn't win. See, like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So, am I not the only one doing it? Successfully. Dramatically, you saw something different in that last fight. Not only you saw the power in my ability to put somebody on the canvas multiple times off the gate. Like, you get in my face, I'm putting you down. You come walking forward, you're not going to be able to do that shit again. You know what I mean? So the whole idea of fucking Alexis Rocha walking me down is going to be a dead mission. But you know what else is a dead mission? Thinking that you're going to survive the whole damn fight and win each round. I'm fast enough to get in and get out, and I'm smart enough to make sure that I'm safe and winning each and every single round. I can do it all. And like, what else? What more could you ask for from a fighter that proven himself?
Nah, man, you definitely came back from adversity by beating the former world champ. We do appreciate your time. We have to wrap up. My name is Nesta Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Catch my co-hosts.
Ringwalk Danny on Instagram and Twitter. We are the Boxing Voice. Catch us tomorrow.
6 a.m., the Breakfast Club of Boxing, and we'll be right back from Blue Wire Studios in the Wynn Casino at 12 p.m. Peace. Family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.